Hi guys, it's Ali here. I'm excited for this one. I have been having a lot of fun doing lives in here. Um, and so, yeah, I'm enjoying this. This topic has been coming up a lot, I know, in the Intuitive Soul Collective membership that I have. There's a lot of people who are wanting to know how to stay high vibe. So that is a live stream they're going to get with the teams. And it's a really, really hot topic. How do I stay high vibe, right? Like, how do I stay high vibe? And I'm like, So a lot of what has been continuously brought up is the power of presence. The power of presence. So those guys, if you're in the ISC, know that you're getting your own live stream that is just for the membership tribe. If you guys are interested in it, it's bit.ly/ISC-membership. They get exclusive lives, exclusive videos with lots of different peeps. You'll see it all on the page. As you go to that link, it's really, really cool, the different lives they get. So that being said, they have like membership calls too and fun stuff like that. Guided meditations just for them, like really cool stuff. Hey Kimberly, hey Jennifer, hey Julie, hey Alex, hey Kari. Alex, I like your posts lately. I keep seeing them out in the interwebs. I love them. I can definitely tell like you're like stepping into it, you know. I love it. Kelly, hey. So we're going to talk about the power of presence because, again, a lot of people are wondering, how do I stay high vibe, right? And that's come up a lot. It was the #1 voted on topic in the Intuitive Soul Collective membership tribe. And a lot of my clients have been asking about staying in a higher vibration, right? It's one of the things that we keep noticing is a recurring theme. So what keeps coming up as a solution is presence. Presence. So a lot of us think about presence as in it being about stillness, and being about, oh, I gotta go meditate, like to be present. That's just one way. Meditation's just one way to get into the present. So we actually have a special guest. You guys can see Ghandi's here. And we have the team. I didn't know he was going to come in until I started typing, and I was like, hello. So this is a super fun topic. I'm excited to share it with you guys because he did so much work on the power of presence, but to bring peace to many came from the power of being present with himself. So without further ado, I'm going to let him get started. So in my life as Ghandi, one of the core teachings of my youth was to learn to be present within the world around me, to be present within myself, to be present on purpose. I often learned and led through teachings of loving the self and loving God and loving what is, or what he's calling it, all that is. What I did not master was the presence of peace within myself in terms of adversity, in times of adversity in my youth. It was something that many feel I mastered later on as an adult. In childhood, though, it was quite controlling, like in nature, to be completely present. Like it almost was, because it was like there reinforced stillness, reinforced meditation. My natural way was to play, to run through the fields, tiptoe through the tulips, wanting to play and run rampant and run wild. I wanted to be free to be me, free to play with myself. He's saying discipline was mandatory. Discipline was mandatory. We were taught that to be free was to be at peace within ourselves, and that I am grateful for. For I was at peace within myself. However, mandatory meditation and mandatory spiritual practices often made me feel he's saying restricted, constricted, restricted, constricted. This is the word you use, yes? And I said either or. He's showing himself in a cage, like he felt caged in by mandatory practices of certain faiths, like having to follow a certain faith or a certain practice. I did not always immerse myself in spiritual teachings as a child because it felt too restrictive. It felt too, he's saying, claustrophobic. What I wished to teach you and what I wished to teach many was not to worry the mind by attempting to dull the senses. Many of you attempt to dull your senses from the world around you by sifting. He's showing a hand scrolling on a phone or on Facebook through the news feed and Instagram feeds and Pinterest. Many of you are tethered to your technological devices. Your technological advances have served you well in many ways and will continue to do so. However, we wish to impress upon you the importance of severing the ties from your technological universe. He's like calling it a universe, and allowing yourself to look to the universe within, be that through meditation, through a simple presence of being in the world around you. So okay, so they're giving me one that one of my guides gave me a while back, which is, I'm going to get my cup. It's empty, but I'm going to give you an example. So I had coffee in it, and they're like, get your cups, get your tea, like first thing in the morning. And they're saying if you got to get up earlier to give yourself this moment, or if it happens later in the day, you drop kids off at school, don't wake up, check your phones. You go downstairs, get your tea or your coffee or hot water with lemon. They're like, hot water with lemon is a great one. Hot water with a splash of green tea. They're saying like tea leaves, like different tea leaves. And they're saying try purified water, alkaline water. And they're saying, they're talking about my water. I have like a water filtration system that cleans out all of this stuff in the water. It's supposed to be better it cleans out a lot of the fluoride that's in our natural water systems that can affect the pineal gland. So I haven't been using it as much because it's like weird. But anyway, like it like just stops working after a little while. Like it slows, the filtration slows because it gets gunk in it. Anyways, they're like, okay. So you get your cup, you get your coffee, your tea, your hot water with lemon, and you sit and you just take a couple breaths and you look out the window, even if it's a shitty ass day. They're saying shitty ass day, so what? Or you go sit on your front porch, you get your parka on, whatever it is, if it's warmer out for you, go sit outside or open a window a little bit and just breathe. And they're saying first close your eyes and just sit there, breathe in the fresh air, and let it sift through your body. And then notice if you have any sense or if there's a change in how the air tastes, anything like that. As your eyes are closed, then shift to the feeling of the warm mug or glass in your hands. So like, don't make it too hot, but feel it in your hands and focus on that. Then focus on what do you hear with your eyes closed. What are you hearing? Are you hearing birds chirping? Are you hearing floorboards creaking? Are you hearing the wind blowing outside? They're saying this is a great thing to do while you're out in the world. If you go for a morning walk, I do that a lot. It's harder now that it's cold, but I do that a lot in the spring and summer. Morning walks are really helpful. You can listen and really tune in. So they're talking about using all of your senses, but individually. And then open your eyes and notice what you see around you. Look at what's vibrant. Look at what's shifting and moving, changing. Look at if you see like the white lines, like the fuzz around things, this slight like auric field around things. Notice little things that you don't normally notice and notice the beauty in them. And they're saying just observe the world outside the window. Or if you're sitting on the porch outside, you'll notice that even if you've lived in the same house for 10 years, that there's newness, they're saying freshness, there's freshness there. So they're talking about in these heightened states early in the morning, your sixth sense, which is just an extra sensory sense that lays over the top of all of your other five senses that you already got. But like if you think about them, they're all extra sensory. It's just like an amplified, it's like an amplifier. So that starts to kick in earlier in the morning because you were just using it all night. So then what happens is that you get hyper tuned into that present moment. They're saying in the present, there are no problems. Right now, there are no problems. If you're thinking of a problem, it's from the past, or it's a problem you're ruminating over from the past, which isn't real because we're only in the perpetual present. And they're saying, or it's the future. Like you're trying to create the future. So they're saying this is where your manifestation techniques about visualization can actually fool you. What you want to focus on is, how do I feel in this present moment, just being here with me and nothing else mattering. Like they're saying, nothing else matters than being at home in yourself. So giving yourself the gift of being present and feeling a sense of purpose just by being is actually extremely powerful, because in the present there are no problems. The present, you understand that only love is real, and you let go of your fears and you just breathe. They're saying just breathe, like really into your gut, really breathe. And they're saying if you need to take a moment to do almost a kind of active meditation, pull light in or pull breath in through the top of your head, shower it around you. They're showing me the spiral of life and consciousness, like circling and going down and like filling in through your being. So it's really about being present in any given moment, no matter what's happening. And a lot of us live our lives, stewing over the past and ruminating over all these things that happened and what ifs. What if I hadn't done that? What if I would have chosen this instead? Or we are in this constant future tripping mode, where we're just like literally trying to take trips to the future that hasn't even happened yet, hasn't been created yet. So we're sitting there like stressing and trying to avoid certain outcomes, or you know what I mean? And we really right now, we spend all of our time stressing that we miss what the beauty of the actual present moment might have for us. All the little things that are around us that are so amazing, that we're just not seeing every day, like cracks in the sidewalk, or a flower blossoming, or you know what I mean, the way the wind feels on your skin. And this is why I love to be outside so much, especially when it gets warmer in the spring and summer. Here it gets hot here in the summer, and we don't have AC in the house either. But it's one of those things where you just start to realize there's so much here to love and to enjoy. And you don't get as annoyed when you allow yourself to be present. It's kind of like, even if there's chaos around you, like a lot of kids running around or a lot of noises or whatever, if you're being in the present, you feel like you're the calm in the middle of the chaos. And you see the chaos not as chaos, but as beauty. As just like the amazing cycle of life happening around you. You know what I mean? Because you're allowing yourself the grace of being in the present. So, does anyone have any questions right now? I wanted to keep this one a little short. I'm going to hop off here in a minute and go and give myself the gift of some presents, and then probably crank out a little bit of work before I have to go pick up Finn from preschool. He had to give Valentine's. They had them giving Valentine's over 3 weeks, so that they had a constant onslaught of love for all of them. So they had we had to sign up for different days, and he had his today, and he was so excited to go pick them out from the store, and he was just like, ah! He was so excited to put them in the mailboxes, even though he can't read yet and can't read all of the names and stuff. He was in Finley, and I was like, well, we're giving them today, and he said in Finley, and I was like, well, honey, we're giving them today. And then I said, why would I tell him it's wrong to give himself a gift? Where did that come from? And I went, of course you can give yourself a Valentine. Why would you not give yourself love? It was just silly. It was one of those things I was like, oh, he's telling me. He was reminding me, actually. So that was a nice little lesson that my kid, like lessons you learn from your kids. I'm gonna look through comments. Russell, you're so funny. I'm so glad I like get you. Like we like get each other. Is my credit card being charged? Your energetic credit card. The energetic one that never has any lack. Like the infinitely abundant energetic credit card. Yeah, I like my cozy sweaters. This was an H&M special. This was my message I got this morning for me to stay in the present. Yeah, I think a lot of people are needing it, you know, and I will say, like, as things pick up in my business, I've noticed myself having a lot of moments of just, you know, being on calls with a lot of people. I had 12 calls this week, and being on all these calls and just being so grateful for the ability to be present with them. You know what I mean? Like, and I just realized, like, I felt like I was being given a gift of their presence at the same time. Like them, like, really hearing me and listening to what I was saying, and them really hearing me and listening to what I was saying, and us listening, like, just the power of listening to someone and just sitting with someone and while they're going through something or asking a question or sharing a funny story, you know, I realized, like, this is such a gift. People rock. Like, and I used to be such an introvert. I used to really hide from connecting with people and letting them see me completely, you know, because I had awful, it wasn't just introversion, it was like anxiety. I was causing myself anxiety for a long time in my life. And now, but now I just feel so grateful for the constant present that I get to have with people. And so I actually, you know, I used to stress when my calendar would get overfull, but then I realized this week, I love all of these people. Like, I love these calls. I was just like, I love these calls. So I got into kind of what Ashley and I call dolphin energy after my calls. I was like all excited. I was like, I love this person. This was so much fun. I'm glad I get to do this work. Like, this is great. It's just like, oh, you know, just like so excited about life. So, any other questions for me about, or the shiny, about anything about presence, how to be present? I'd say definitely personal tip from me. Put your phone away. Don't check your phone before bed. Take your Facebook. One of my coaches, one of my old mentors, said I take my Facebook app off my phone every day at like 7 p.m. And she was like, I know, and I like don't check it. I don't check my email. I put it in airplane mode and I put it away. I was like, solid. That's solid. And part of me went, like, my heart went, no. No, I will not. Another way you can be like really present with yourself. So they're like, I feel like using the 5 senses, all the senses, is like really, really a great way to do it. You can actually, so once you're doing this in your present world, in your present existence, right, you can actually do this in meditation. Like, put yourself, so a lot of us are like, I want more adventure. I want to go to this fun place. And did you guys see that I booked my flights to California? Who's in California in mid-March and wants to meet up? I think I'm gonna have a thing for like a day. Get some people together. We can do some coaching or whatever you guys want. I think I'm gonna do like a group thing. That's what I'm feeling. And Ashley and I are gonna get together too and sync up because she's near San Diego. So anyway, so you can actually do this meditation. So as you're sitting in meditation, you can create, I call it like a home base spot. So mine is the beach, which is why I'm going to California. I'm so excited. I like forgot that I did that yesterday. I just was like, I think I'm just going to book these flights finally. I just like, so like you can actually do like more of a visualization meditation where you create a home base, like a beach, a house. I have a tree house too that I love to go to, a garden. I have a garden that I go to. It can be anywhere, the woods, somewhere that's peaceful to you, that feels good to you. Like a lake, you can picture Lake Tahoe, you know, the mountains, wherever it is. Picture that place and just sit in that place and use all 5 of your senses, I've actually been able to feel humidity on my skin and smell the sea air and it's amazing because when you do that, you get into the universal, like omnipresent energy, and you can start to feel that world around you, and you just feel it radiating into you, like into your heart. Like it's literally made me cry before. Like I'll put my hand down in the sand, even though I'm in just in meditation, and run my fingers deep into the sand and just have this energy just come up into my arms and into my being. And it's like, it feels so good. So you can practice it there. And that's actually how you practice sixth sense. Sixth sense. Don't tell anyone. Yeah, but so like that's a really great one that you can do. I would say there's different ways you can use scent as well to get into more of a presence. I'll have like some like times where I will take an essential oil or, you know, something high vibe, like an organic or all natural one, like a non-toxic one, and I'll rub it on my wrists and just in the palm of my hands, and I'll go like this. You know, and I'll just like smell and just breathe it for a second. Make sure that it's one that's okay to breathe. Like they should be if they're an essential oil, but, and I'll just like rub it in and take that in and just hold it. And a lot of scents actually are really powerful. They can invoke taste. Like a lot of your taste is actually based on your nose, and what you're smelling. So a lot of people who get stuffy, you don't taste as much, right? So if you're working on that like sense of smell and you're working with that, it can invoke memories. So it's not always going to keep you present, but it's a really great thing where like, say like you used to bake sugar cookies and you're wanting that feeling of comfort with your grandma baking sugar cookies. Even if you're not wanting to go into the past, you can do the scent of like the sugar cookies or that vanilla, and that can invoke that sense of comfort for a second. So you can use it to be present with yourself now, bringing that in. So that's like another one. Let me think. Doing things like yoga, because you have to stay so focused on what your body's doing and the breathing at the same time. It's actually a great way to be really, really centered and focused. There's a reason they call it being centered, because you literally have to focus on yourself. It's a really big gift to yourself to give yourself that. So that's just some tips. For those of you who have like kids or dogs, sit down and observe them. Try to observe without judgment. That's a really great one to be present. They are full of, like, kids are in the perpetual present. Like they don't think linear. You know, I actually read this thing a long time ago where I was reading about how kids that are like younger than 3 actually don't, like their brains don't recognize time. So they're literally in the perpetual present. So if you're saying something to them like, we'll do it in a minute, they're like, oh my God, because they only live in the present. You know what I mean? They're like, well, a minute, what does that mean? Like, what's a minute, you know? If you're saying tomorrow, they're not going to get that because they're right here, right now, all the time. But they don't have the emotional like mediation with themselves yet. That's why we're kind of scared of it. I think sometimes it's because we look at kids who are in the present, like I want it now, temper tantrum style. Well, we can still be present. And a lot of times in the present, what I love about it is that the present equals peace for me. It equals, there are no problems. I'm not thinking about solutions for the future. I'm not doing anything. I'm just being. And so it becomes the state of observing. Like you're just observing everything around you in the sense of I love it all and I'm at peace with it all without having any attachment, like as in I feel like I need to control it or take an action on it or manipulate. Does that kind of make sense? Like you just get into that presence. So we're actually going to talk about this a lot in the mastermind, Ashley and I, because when you're in the present, what kicks in? Higher consciousness, your connection to yourself kicks in. Your connection to all that is. Your connection to source, your connection to whatever you want to call it, your guides, your loved ones, yourself, your high self. Because you get in that state of observing and detaching, it's much more like it's not that your intuition isn't working otherwise. It's always working. We all have it. You know what I mean? Like this is we're constantly in it. But a lot of us don't recognize it, right? And we don't detach enough to allow ourselves to receive our intuitive insights and that loving feeling and to be in that elevated vibration, or at least, let me rephrase that, to be aware of that elevated vibration that with which we are always in, but that we misperceive a lot of the time. And so in that vibration is when you get the downloads and when you get inspired to act, at least you're coming from that place of groundedness. When people don't allow themselves space and peace, and I posted about this yesterday, a lot of times I think when people don't give themselves the spaces, that time of spaciousness of just being and connecting with themselves, you know, and I call it, Chris Lee, who I actually really like, you guys should look him up. He calls it in the cracks. It's that time in the spaces when you're just being with yourself and with the world around you. I think a lot of times when we don't allow ourselves that, when we do take action, sometimes we can take action out of anger or fear, and we can miss things, you know? So it's like, do I think we were meant to be in this now state 100%? Yes. I think it is possible. I think it's just a simple acceptance of it and allowance of it. The more I've started to accept that, yes, of course it's safe to be in that state 100% and not be future projecting. I will say this requires a surrender. Or surrender of worrying about the future, and a surrender of beating yourself up or other people up over the past. It requires trust. It requires a lot of trust to say, I don't need to worry. I don't need to future project. I don't need to control. I will know what to do in that moment. But to know what to do in the moment, often it's not that we don't know what to do, you know, but this just allows us that peace with which to act from, instead of a state of worrying and angering. Surrendering, I guess you could say it that way. It's more like surrendering everything rephrase that. Everything you think is right. Everything you think you need. That comes from ego, because you don't need anything. Actually, fasting taught me that. You actually don't need anything. I was like, this is wild. This is wild. And it's all like the power of your thought and how you choose to perceive things. Look back for other questions. Are there other ways to be present equally as good as meditation? There's no hierarchy. It's all choice. So there's many different techniques to get present. Yoga, we're talking about scent. You can have presence when you're cooking. When you're painting. I found creating. That's a good one. Creating. Painting, writing, doing stuff like that. It's about, if you're really in it, that can be very much about presence. A lot of time I paint and I just let my hand go where it wants to go, and I detach from, I need to make this certain picture. I just go, I don't know. Let's see what comes out today. And it ends up being the wildest stuff. Want me to show you one? It looks like a kindergartner, didn't it? But I'm okay with that. Because you could call it inner child work, right? So this kind of came out one day. It's gone and curled, but you guys see that? So that came out one day. It's sparkly, I like it. It matches my filter. So you just get into this presence with it, but it takes that intention of being present. So it is a surrender. It's almost like a surrender of your thought. Of having to, interesting. I just heard precognizance comes often when you do this. Allow yourself to be in the present. That's part of the sense of knowing what to do or knowing what's coming. Empaths are highly present people. That's why they often sense the energy or emotions of others, or the room around them, or the world around them. There are emotional imprints left on objects, people, places, things. They feel it. And also the earth carries a vibration. So if you're wanting to be more present, a great technique is to go outside. I don't know why I didn't think of this. They're like, it's okay. Is to go outside and sit your ass on the grass. I do that. I call it ass on the grass time. It's a little cold and snowy right now, but you go sit outside and you ask, please align me with the vibration of the earth, or please bring me, some peace, or please anchor me into the earth. So it's kind of like a grounding thing, but it's more about just setting that intention, and it's for you, of, earth is its own, it has its own energy signature. It's its own consciousness. But we're actually part of it. So like when you do that, you're asking to be anchored into it and to be where you are, right? You know what I mean? Like to be in that body and to be present here, and to be cool with where you are. And that's really what the intention you're setting. Let me be cool with where I am. Let me love where I am. That's a great thing to ask for. When you ask for something, you receive it. And that's because when you ask for something, you're admitting that you want it and you're giving yourself permission to have it. It's really about you, you know? Like, it's like your internal universe, just like going, gotcha, got your back, girl, you know? I'm gonna hop off in a second here because I want to have a little bit of solo time before I go get Finnosaurus Rex from school. I'm gonna get my oils out, just relax, maybe read some more of The Alchemist. I love that book. I love it. And have you guys ever read, and maybe my Gene Keys book, I'm like super into this. We're gonna teach this in the mastermind, not just teach it, but help you guys with actual practices to actually get present with yourself. A lot, okay, so in the Gene Keys, which Ashley Pfeffer, Pfeffer, is my partner in crime on the mastermind. And so I will say, so the Gene Keys, it's unlocking the higher purpose hidden in your DNA. It's fascinating. This thing was channeled. Hint, hint. It's amazing. So in the Gene Keys, fun fact, there's a shadow state for each one, a gift and a siddhic state. What they are frequencies. Shadow state is a fear frequency, so a lower vibration. Gift state's a little bit higher vibration. Siddhic state is complete, what you would call enlightened state. The siddhic state, the thing it has in common every single time, so everyone has Gene Keys. We all have them. I'll show you guys, I'll post my chart sometime. So you can see, it's interesting how it like all coincides. And Ashley and I've talked about it on lives in here too. It's so cool, isn't it, Amanda? It's amazing. And Ashley syncs this stuff together so well and explains it so well. She has a gift. She actually used to be a teacher. So if that explains how she takes information and makes it easy to understand. This is like, this stuff could be hard to understand, but also the way this guy wrote it was brilliant. So anyway, so the siddhic state is the highest consciousness state. So just meaning it's the highest vibratory state. It's the highest frequency. And in that frequency, the thing all the siddhis have in common, all the siddhic states, everyone is capable of being in them. Always, always. Actually, we are. We just don't recognize it. All they have in common is they are states of perpetual being, presence, oneness, unity, total acceptance of all that is. Total acceptance. They're all about the divine energy and recognizing that it's all for one and one for all. And it is there. A lot of them have that, like a lot of this phrasing in them, talking about the perpetual present, being present, the being state, surrendering the past, surrendering the future, surrendering the need to know because you accept that you just are. Surrendering the need to strive, right? Surrendering feelings of lack, recognizing that there is none. Surrendering feelings of fear, recognizing that there is none and all is well. That's presence. So every time you guys do this, you're raising into a siddhic state. So you actually, ooh, yay, Amanda, that's amazing. So yeah, so that is a lot of what we're talking about in the mastermind, because the mastermind is not only about helping you guys learn about your Gene Keys. We will do a lot of that. You'll learn what your Gene Keys mean. Ashley's going to do individual assessments. You'll also learn with me and we have a lot of like guest experts coming in. Like, it's going to be amazing. I'm so excited. I just posted in the group the other day, so look for it. But we're going to talk about the frequencies and things you can actually do and implement and practice to be in a higher frequency. When you're in a higher frequency, it affects everything. It has a high ripple effect. So selecting to be in the present and allowing yourself presence. A lot of people who allow themselves to sit down and be present, right? They are people who download amazing ideas and insights. And not only that, when you allow yourself to be present, you're more rested. It's actually been scientifically proven, no joke, that meditating, like deep meditation for an hour, is the equivalent of 8 hours of sleep. So we're not just going to teach meditation, we'll teach other things like mindset techniques. We'll use discussion to help you shift out of fear and into faith and into flow. We're going to help you tap into your creative energy and know what to use it for, like know what you're here to create in the world. To really tap into your gifts, it's all about the power of believing that you have them and believing that all you need to do are make simple shifts. You can be in any frequency and any mindset you want at any time. That's really true. And a lot of people who get into the higher frequencies do amazing things in the world because they're doing amazing things for themselves. You're taking care of your internal universe, and the external is just a projection of the internal, you know? So we want you guys to have an amazing adventure that is life. We want you guys to go co-create amazing things. So if you're curious about that mastermind and you want more of this stuff, come and PM us, because we've got a lot of calls booked for it already. And we have a lot of people that are like totally in. So it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to Hawaii for a retreat as part of the mastermind. It's included. It's a 5-day retreat, like mid to late May. It's going to be a lot of fun. Does anyone have any questions about presents before I hop off, or any commentary, anything that you are wondering about? Questions about the mastermind? Oh, it's 6 months long. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's like mid-March through, I want to say end of September. End of September. Covering lots of things: presence, manifestation, unlocking your hidden gifts, understanding your spiritual DNA, understanding your purpose and why the F you're here, like, and what to do in the world. Lots of collaboration, lots of deep discussions, like you guys getting to talk to each other and share with each other and support each other and celebrate and cry and talk about your shit and all the things you want to create in the world. And then collaborating with people and actually starting to do the things, because a lot of people hold themselves back from taking that leap and doing the thing. So there's a lot of that. We'll teach you, actually, a lot of you guys, how to actually start to feel that empowerment to go do. And we'll be there to help you guys through it. It's not in this live, no. I have to select someone for that. And that person, will get on live stream with me. So, does anyone have any questions? Yeah, if you guys are interested in the mastermind, PM me. I'm not cold reaching out to anyone. So if you guys are saying it sounds awesome and you want to come, make sure you send me a private message on Facebook. So I'm not going to reach out. I just don't like to. Let's just say I like people who take initiative, who say yes to themselves. It activates things. It does. It really does. It does a lot to say yes to yourself. Lots of little yeses to yourself, they'll add up. They add up over time. Think about all the ways you can say yes to being present now, and what that can help you to do in the world. Not just to do, but to be, because being the highest and best of yourself is really about allowing yourself to be yourself first. And to be cool being yourself, you got to be cool with being with yourself, And I remember having a while back when I had anxiety, my coach was like, I want you to go for a walk without your phone. And I almost had an anxiety attack because I was like, I don't want to listen to what's going on in my own freaking head, right? Because I was just having so much anxiety all the time. And actually, it really challenged me and it made me grow a lot. And I finally love being with myself again. I really am okay with it. I was never like that before. I can go in a coffee shop and sit with myself, or I can go have lunch by myself in a crowded place. I ordered a breakfast burrito 2 weeks ago at a restaurant by myself as like a treat, and I'm okay with that. And I just sat there and I was just present in that restaurant, and I was just being there, and it was just cool, I got really immersed in it and enjoyed observing everything and just being in it. So I want to hear, what are you guys going to do? What are your new presence practices that you're going to try? Are you going to meditate? Are you going to go somewhere and just sit and take it all in? Are you going to observe your children? That's a huge one. Observing your kids and just watching them play. without correcting them or feeling like you're like watching out for them. This is observing them, like admiring them, just sitting and admiring them and going, God, I like didn't, without any need to say anything to them, you know, or correct them, or without any judgment of them or of yourself, just watching them and just feeling into them. You know what I mean? So what are you guys going to do? Are you going to do the coffee tea exercise? They're like, you can take a sip, see how it tastes, you know, like you can like really notice it and how you enjoy it. And they're like, I feel like when you're more present, your sense of gratitude and appreciation just kicks in. And that's major, like such an empowered place to move about the world from, like, you know, to be in that place and move about the world is insanely empowering. Anyone? Any questions? I want to make sure I get to everything. And I want to hear what you guys are doing to be more present. What are you committed to? Are you going to turn your phones off at night and sit and not have TV on? Yeah, I love that, Julie. Yeah, there's like, I mean, giving the gift of total unconditional love and acceptance to our kids is unprecedented. It's huge. More meditation, turn my phone off. I love it. There are guided meditations too. And there's this guy named Jason Stevenson, and he has an Australian accent. They're amazing. He makes them one like every day. He does sleep sounds too, sleep meditations. It's like so soothing. There's one where you float up into the stars and like merge with the cosmos. It's so peaceful. I love it. Gonna ground myself and get into my heart and solar plexus. Yeah, you can do stuff like, if anyone does Reiki, even if you don't do Reiki, you can feel your own energy in different spots, sitting and just feeling it. Oh, this is a good one. Okay, so you're sitting, you close your eyes and you get into meditation, and then you practice feeling your heartbeat in different areas of your body, like in your head, in your heart, in your hands, in your feet, or in your legs, etc. That's a really great way to be very present. You're just observing the heartbeat. It's a great one if you do meditation and you have trouble staying focused on your breathing. You know what I mean? That's a great one to help you stay really present. But I think a lot of what I'm talking about as far as presence is not just meditation, but being present in your life. You know what I mean? Like enjoying your life, enjoying who you are in the world and your orientation to it. You know, it changes your orientation to everything. Let me see. I've been doing a lot of these things. It's making the effort to do them daily that is tough. Yeah, and Amanda, I think it's easy if it just becomes less of an effort and more of just a noticing. Like it's just like a releasing. You know what I mean? Before bed is a great time. First thing in the morning is a great time. When you're in your car is a great time to just be with it. You know? Taking time for a guided meditation. Can you guys hear my stomach growling? I fasted today for most of the day. Oh, well, I had some cheddar bunnies, I guess. I broke my fast a little bit on accident. But for the most part, my stomach's like growling. Airplane mode at night. I love that. Perfect. Yeah, so I would suggest airplane mode, and sitting in a state of observing, like right before you go to bed. Maybe getting like not a candle, but like an essential oil or something, or lotion, and just, that's something you can do as part of your self-care, you guys. Like lotion on the hands and just feeling like your own skin. And just appreciating it, scented or unscented, that can be a really great, practice for getting in the present. Just like feeling how your skin feels, enjoying how the lotion feels. Oh, cool. Thanks, Amanda. I'm glad you're tuning in and listening to the stuff. Yoga Indra, nice. I used to do Kundalini yoga, actually helps me get really present, like the breathing exercises. It can help. Yoga Nidra. I was like, Indra, I haven't heard of that one. Now you say Nidra, I'm like, oh. Yeah, Lori, if you need a link, let me know. I've got a link for you. I just did the yoga collection from doTERRA. I'm obsessed. It's like all day, every day. I had Anchor, which is the grounding one, in my bath last night. It was like the woods and like a bunch of flowers came to meet me in my bathroom. It was amazing. It smelled so good. Any questions? Whoop, there we go. Questions. All right, I don't see any more, so I'm gonna get hopping off. Give myself a little bit of time. I'll probably go to the park with Finn after this. Yes, please PM me if you guys have questions about the mastermind, oils, anything else. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and I will talk to you guys soon.